find another book.
And where down we go.
Very simply, what happened?
Bottom line is that I didn't win. You know, I didn't win enough games, and new market. That's important, and I'll take responsibility for that.
When did you know?
When Kevin came in and told me.
So you had no idea before that?
No idea, no idea. I just, recently had signed an extension and knew things were getting tough. I knew that, but I didn't anticipate this. I always thought that if depending on what happens the last 3 weeks, that there may be that potential with the season being over, but I was a little caught off guard with a short week.
Let's go back to that extension for a second. So you signed that before the season starts, but the announcement wasn't made that you have signed it until December 4th?
It was never my place to announce the extension, so.
Mike Rice faced reporters just after he was fired today.
I will, at some time, maybe I'll try to explain it, but right now there's no explanation for what's on those films because there is no excuse for it. I was wrong.
Captured on those films were practices where Coach Rice repeatedly threw a basketball at players, striking at least one in the head. Off camera, Rice can be heard shouting, using gay slurs. The basketball practices were videotaped between 2010 and 2012 and were reviewed in November by Rice's boss.
Says fired. However, tonight, Bucks fans have a few more words than just one, and some of them not so good, to describe how they feel about this decision.
When news hit that Bucks head coach Lovie Smith had been fired, social media was burning up. On our WFLA Facebook page, still a lot of comments like Diane's, which says shocked and disgusted. And on Twitter, Joy said, terrible, terrible decision.
620 WDAE and 95.3 FM.
And bright and early this morning on WDAE 620 AM, it is all they could talk about.
Obviously, Lovie Smith is a guy that is familiar with this organization.
Today's newspaper headlines: the Tampa Bay Times, Bucks fire Smith. The Tampa Tribune, one word, fired.
It's kind of a bummer. He's a likable guy, and, I wanted to give him more of a shot.
Two things people are how much money they're shelling out for those coaches. At the start of the 2016 season, they will be paying 3 different head coaches.
I know, it's wild. I don't know how they can afford it, but apparently they do.
But the one general thing everyone can agree on?
I just want the Bucks to win. Whether it's Lovie, Gruden, doesn't matter to me. I just want the Bucks to win.
Yeah. And playing with him when you were a kid running around, and your dad was an NBA player. He was obviously your head coach here in Golden State for many years. Was fired in 2014. Why do you think you took it so hard?
He did a lot for me as a player. Instilling a lot of confidence and a lot of growth on and off the court. And for me, he embodied success, with the Warriors organization. He changed the culture from being a lottery team to, winning 50 games, consecutive playoff appearances, and, going to the wire with San Antonio in the second round, trying to, make it to the Western Conference Finals. All that was embodied for me. When you have a relationship with a coach on and off the court, it's tough to see that end, especially coming off the season that we had, and it was just tough because didn't see it. Obviously, there's a lot of questions about it throughout the season, but me personally, I didn't think that it would go down like that. But
Brian was gonna quit, but they fired him before he could.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do. Flip out, man. All I want to know is who's coming with me. Who's coming, man? Who's coming with me? Huh? Who's coming with me, man?
But once you've been fired twice in 2 years, been called a college coach, hard to work with, and a guy who is different from anybody else in NFL circles. You feel like he's got to go back to college, but here's the problem. Chip Kelly doesn't like college because he doesn't like recruiting.
I mean, Chip he don't owe me nothing. I don't owe him anything. Simple as that. So for him to say that, that's cool, that's nice. But I mean, I'm not really worried about that. You know, I know who I was before he got there, and I know who I am now. I think there's a lot of guys I do want to see, you know, on that coaching staff and the ownership over there, and definitely the Eagle fans. A lot of old Eagle fans. You know, they've been good to me over my years, man. And a lot of different players on that team. So some guys that I'm anxious to see. But his comments, you know, that doesn't affect me at all, in a good way or a negative way.